What's up, Anthony?
I guess it's been, almost 9 months since you guys practiced as a team on that floor. What did it feel like to be out there again? And just based on the unique build-up to this practice with individual workouts and all that, and it being limited to four people, did today go any differently? I'm guessing it did. Did today go any differently than other first days of team practices to start the season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everything's different. The world is different. The league is different. But the fact that we were able to bring back so many players, particularly from what we just experienced just several weeks ago, probably allowed us to fast track a little quicker. And today was more of a practice and a gauge just to see where everybody was physically.
Did everybody go today, or was some guys not able to practice?
Everybody but Jimmy and BJ were able to go, and they had excused absences.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press.
Hey, Spo. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Tim. Hear from you.
Good to, yeah, whittle of both. Obviously, it is new. I mean, you're missing a couple guys, and you have some new guys in. But once you get through these first couple days, do you anticipate that it'll kind of be a continuation of where you were in October because the core is relatively intact?
Yeah, maybe. If today's practice was an indication we were able to move rather quickly through things, and really I just wanted to use it as a template just to really see where our guys were, what they're able to retain, and how quickly the new players are able to get up to speed with things. But each year is different. The challenges are unique to your particular team. We want to make sure that we're not skipping steps. But it does help when you bring back a large part of your core.
Will, I obviously the first practice you're putting in, the people that are new to you, you're showing them the way you guys do things and all those, all that stuff, of course. Precious is learning on the fly, of course, that's going to happen. But how much of your time now with the guys is spent talking about 154 pages of protocols and all of these other new wrinkles that are just part of basketball in 2020? How much
It's
of
a
that's
big
going
part and an important part. We continue to educate everyone, staff, players alike. We're going to have a team Zoom about that. This very topic, tomorrow. I cannot say enough about Jay Sable and the time that he's been putting in. I think for the foreseeable future, in fact, he's not even going to be our lead trainer. He really is our chief operating officer with COVID protocols. He's been immersed 12, 14 hours a day just on the league protocols, the memos, and then putting together our protocols on top of that. It really is incredible, this operation. If you don't have the right kind of staff that are able to handle that, it probably is too overwhelming. But Jay has really taken on that responsibility. It's a major responsibility. And with the help of his staff, we're able to, create this mini bubble here in our workspace. But it is not a small undertaking, and there will have to be continued diligence and discipline and education among everybody that walks in our building that are considered tier one.
Eric, I just have one more. Obviously, in the bubble, we were all safe because we knew what the environment was. We are all being tested, and there was hardship. You were away from home. You were away from your wife and your kids and your friends and everything else. How worried are you about, yes, you're going to be back at home now after trips, but we're going to be on planes. We're going to be in hotels. How worried are you about just how different this is going to be without that safety that a bubble provides?
Yeah, I think it's more about being responsible and mindful and disciplined about all of this. It really is going to take a respect level from everybody that this is serious. It also is amazing that we have an opportunity to continue our profession and our business, but there will be a lot of protocols along the way that we really have to adhere to and be disciplined to. This is different than the bubble in Orlando, where the league, drove that, came up with all of that, and we just basically were there and followed, the steps. This requires each team to be able to create your own mini bubble, and then when you travel, that bubble is going to travel. And that takes a great deal of planning, and that's why I can't commend Jay enough. I walk into his office at the beginning and the end of every single day, and he just has a mountain of papers and files and memos that he's translating and boiling it down to the essentials that we all need to know and then be able to execute. And like anything, we want to compete and have an opportunity to do what we do. But the first things first, we have to create an environment that has everybody's health at the top of the list. And the way we do anything here is we want to be world class with it. We want to do it as well as anybody out there, and that takes an incredible amount of planning.
Thanks, Bo.
All right, next we have Kobe Price with the Sun Sentinel.
Hey, Spo, how's it going?
Hey, good, Kobe.
Good seeing you again. Wanted to kind of you touched on the protocols to make sure you're world class. With such a quick turnaround, and then obviously you still do with the pandemic and the effects of it, does that change how you and your staff kind of approach this part in terms of training and practice and getting back into that rhythm? But you're just 8-9 weeks removed from playing your last game.
Well, where it's changed our planning is we've had so many more additional meetings and planning sessions about the protocols that would lead to practice and then around practice, and then allow us to continue to operate in a healthy and safe way. In terms of our planning, for the season, in between the four lines, that's typical. That's normal. That's the world that we feel very comfortable in. So we have to do both now, and that's just the world we live in, and we embrace that because we have an opportunity just to continue to do what we love to do. And it does help, that we have a bunch of players that are familiar with how we operate, what our philosophies are on both sides of the ball, and then you can have a practice like today where it felt more like a practice, a continuation, than it did necessarily starting over with 10, 12 new faces.
All right, next we have Cooper Moorhead with Heat.com. Go ahead, Coop.
Yes, but along those same lines, specifically with just 2 preseason games and not really much build up as far as on-court exhibitions, even less than you had in the bubble. Are you trying to use these next, however many days to cram in an entire training camp and get to where you would want to be after a regular preseason? Or do you think that whole process of figuring out the rotation and experimenting a bit is going to bleed over into the regular season games?
Yeah, it could. We're always open to different possibilities. At least we have some built-in familiar rotations already. We'll be able to add Avery and Mo and Precious to that mix. But I want to, proceed getting everybody physically right, getting everybody working on our continuity, continue to build our system specific to this group, and see if we can improve our game. So those are the things that we're focusing on. to get ready for our first game, and we'll use the preseason games accordingly and appropriately. It'll be different. There's only 2 games, but this practice time will be really important to work on conditioning and rhythm and all these things.
All right, next we have Christos Saltas with SDNA Greece. Go ahead.
Hello, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Sure.
I would like to ask you, first of all, what are your first impressions about Mo, Avery, and Precious about their individual practices with the team?
Mo and Avery are both seasoned veterans, and they've played for really good teams in good systems. They've been well coached. They've been in winning programs. So they don't take very long, to get acclimated. They can play in anybody's system. The way they play, they defend, they share the ball, they play off the ball offensively. They know how to get to spacing, know how to help your guys. They know how to fit in, and they have the experience to be able to do that and feel comfortable. So that's something I noticed right away, even in today's practice. You don't have to really feel like you're teaching them a new system. It's just terminology that they have to learn that's different from where they've been before. And Precious is just really he's open to coaching. He's ambitious. He wants to gobble it all up. He's going to get fed through a fire hose. I get it. So it'll probably feel a little bit overwhelming, the first month or several weeks, and that's to be expected. But he has a lot of great leaders, mentors, vets that they'll help him out along the way.
And now we have Tim Reynolds with another question.
So to follow up on Coop's question just a little bit, I know nobody plays to win in the preseason, of course, but you've got a bunch of guys and a bunch of new combinations and only 8 quarters where you're going up against somebody else. Is that enough? I mean, are you worried about that? Or, it is what it is, so I guess you really can't change it, but
No, I'm not. Look, I really just want to get the guys, get everybody's conditioning level, basketball conditioning level up to our standards, get our continuity, incorporate the new guys. I'll continue to evaluate, and I don't feel a panic that we have to have all the answers after the second preseason game. We won't. We want to be open to possibilities. We have a lot of versatility, a lot of different options with our rotation. We have the right veteran guys that understand what we're playing for, and you need that depth. You need that versatility, and we plan on utilizing that all season. And I would imagine we're going to find new answers and new strengths, as the season goes on. I hope so, because we do need to improve. We need to get to another level, and it'll take some time to get there.